Uh, Welcome everyone to the Toku Portal podcast. It's me, Zero, here with.
Decade.
And Rai. And welcome to Kamen Rider Build, Episode 7. Quick recap. Banjo was framed for the murder of Katsuragi Takumi. Now we have evidence that suggests Sento may have killed him, as he was at the scene of the crime an hour before Banjo showed up. Start of the episode, Banjo argues with Sento about maybe you killed him, while Sento argues that it's still possible he didn't kill him. While arguing, the full bottle Sento got from curing Tatsuya is purified and comes out as a panda. I like this little comedic bicker between the two. In fact, it makes watching the recaps before each episode worth it. Just to get like that little unique dialogue.
Yeah, that was fun, but I really enjoyed Misara's acting after that. She comes out of the chamber because I don't know, she's just awesome. Like it took us a while to kind of grow fond of Nico because she was kind of static for a lot of the episodes in the beginning, but already we've seen quite a lot of Misara's acting talent. So yeah, I like all the sides that we've seen of her.
Yeah, I agree. They're doing a really good job of building character. I mean, like it's been 7 episodes, but I think like the show has finally like really hit its stride now. This like last week was a decent episode. This is a good episode. Um, and all the other stuff Decade covered. So I guess we can keep going.
I hadn't thought about comparing Misora to Nico, but now that you mention it, yeah, that's a good point there. When Sento goes into work at the Institute, he asks Gentoku about Katsuragi. 2 years before his death, Katsuragi had left the Institute. He was the first one to suggest using the nebula gas on humans, but when his proposal was turned down, he attempted to do so anyways illegally. He was caught and promptly fired. While looking into Katsuragi's report logs, Sento finds a message suggesting that Katsuragi left some information about his research with his mother, who moved to Hakuto. They can't take a boat there because security is tighter than in Seto, but there are rifts in Skywall they can pass through, specifically one the government doesn't know about. Little information dump here. It's interesting. We were wondering, like, why would Katsuragi be called the devil scientist? It's because he was trying to experiment on humans.
Yeah, that definitely is a taboo. um, but just overall, I mean, yeah, awesome acting, Gentoku. Um, but I like that Sento's finally taking the lead on this whole investigation stuff because Ryuga's kind of had the spotlight for a while, and Sento's just been the writer guy. But now that he knows a bit about his past and stuff, he's kind of curious. So yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I agree. It's interesting. I mean, like, it's interesting that it's not like a fully closed off skywall, but like, I guess we're seeing why it's not closed off because, like, even if there are gaps, like the government structure is so different that they don't want to recombine, and like, if there's gaps, there's smugglers and stuff, and like, yeah, the government doesn't know about it, but like, Faust obviously would know because they're probably trying to get resources in all three parts, or I mean mainly it seems they're based in like the same place Build is right now, but yeah. Also, as for the demon scientist. Okay, is the actor who's playing him, is that what's his name? No, I was gonna say Guy, but not Guy. Um, um, Taiga from Ryuki.
That would be pretty crazy, but I haven't looked into that.
I don't know. I'd have to look.
Yeah, I mean, from the like small glimpses, it looks like just him but older. So I'm like, oh look, the greatest hero, truly fighting for justice after all. I see.
Uh, in one of Foss's labs, we see Gentoku talking with Bloodstark about not letting Sento get to Hakuto. Gentoku then pulls out a full bottle representing Bat and inserts it into a pistol like weapon and becomes Night Rogue. So, like episode 2, we were calling it like, yeah, Gentoku could totally be him, and we were right. I'm so unshocked by this reveal. I don't really know what I'm supposed to feel about this.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of obvious that that guy was Night Rogue. I mean, it's been pretty heavily hinted. Two things. Okay, it's interesting that they all henching differently. It's like one's a belt, one's a gun, one's a sword. Or yeah, I guess sword. Like, is Ryuga gonna henshin with? Nah, he's a Kamen Rider. He's gonna get a belt. Like, if he henshin with like a arm bracelet thing, we would have like the all four Kamen Rider henshin devices in one show. That'd be interesting. But um, the other thing is like I didn't think like Gentoku. Yeah, that's his name, right? Like
Yeah.
the build. I mean, yeah, build's boss, right? Like I didn't think he, like his assistant knew, but he's like right there when they go in the lab. So I'm like, holy shit. Okay, they've been totally faking out build. Plus, it also kind of seems interesting that like Gentoku would like feed build false information because it might lead to the whole thing of like, yeah, all right, build is actually just like the leader of Faust in like a new body or with the clone or his intelligence stuck into like Sento somehow. And then as for like Night Rogue, like, okay, it's interesting that he's weaker, but he's still so much stronger than build. um and the other thing is, okay, could Night Rogue be I heard a theory. It could be like the cafe owner.
You're getting Night Rogue and Bloodstark mixed up.
Sorry, yeah. Sorry, Bloodstar could be like the cafe owner. Like it would fit because like he's kind of helping build along in this episode, and he keeps disappearing. Plus, like his whole thing of, oh yeah, I just rescued my daughter. Like that seems such a fishy story.
That possibility has occurred to me. And it could possibly turn Build into like the rider who got played by everyone he trusted.
I mean, like maybe it would be interesting though because like I mean it would be a weird like Showa s throwback because like Hongo is supposed to be super smart, but like he gets played by his professor because his professor is the one who like recommends him and then like breaks him out. So it's like technically the cafe owner could be both things, right? Like he could have turned build into build and then like decided, nah, maybe I should fight against Faust. So like maybe that's why they're doing it. I mean, like, or maybe they're just doing the white wizard thing of like, I'm just gonna do my own thing and play everybody along. I don't think it's going that far though. What do you think, Decade?
Okay, I know we're talking a lot, but where in the notes did we leave off? Did we get to Gentoku's transformation
Yes.
thing? Okay, awesome. Yeah, that scene was amazing. The set design is nice. The lighting was really great and made Gentoku look even more hardcore badass. Um, the one problem that I kind of had with Dan in Xaid was the fact that he really couldn't do shit about Parado and his little games. He kind of just let him do whatever he wanted, even if it pissed him off. But with Gentoku, it's pretty obvious that's not going to be the case. I mean, yeah, Stark does get the last laugh, but he just straight up fucking transforms and kicks his ass. So yeah, that was awesome, and I love the I don't know the name of the toy, but his transformation gun. It is the jingle is sick, and they're different. The fact that their full bottles look different is pretty sick too. So yeah, I loved it.
With Banjo disguised as a clown, the two find a guide to bring them to Hakuto. Night Rogue and Bloodstark ambush them. The civilians escape during the fight, and our heroes escape into Hakuto. Uh, it was. I don't really have anything to say about this scene.
Yeah, I mean, like, I have like two tiny things. Like, okay, these transformation outfits are funny for Yuga, but they're kind of getting out of hand. I mean, like, tactical clown. Like, come on, man. Like, we cannot go more crazy than this, right? Um, okay. There's so many levels to that joke, from Family Guy to this fucking joke ass thing that the Canadian military actually did as a reference to that. But um, yeah, that outfit's ridiculous. What the hell was I gonna say? Um, okay, what did we just? What were we talking about besides Ryuga being a clown?
They made it through Skywall. They were ambushed by Night Rogue and Bloodstark. There were some civilians that were trying to escape out of Hakuto.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I think I totally lost my second point there, but yeah, it's kind of interesting that like each of the smuggling, like even smuggling between the different countries or like sections is different. Um, like the north is like this weird, like almost like Hokkaido, like agriculture thing, except like Hokkaido's even way more north and like backwards. But like this is more like an like internment camp level of insanity going up. Like it's weird. Um, and then like the south is just like it's corrupt because like they have the money and like you can just smuggle in if you just pay enough. So it's kind of interesting how they've set it up. But man, I had like a better point and now I've totally lost it. Okay, keep going.
Decade, anything on the smuggling people?
Um, yeah, I guess it was pretty decent setup for the next episode to have that family just desperately trying to get the hell out of there. So yeah, that was decent setup. It's nice seeing Night Rogue back in action. He disappeared for a while, and yeah, Bloodstark. What a friend. Just totally betraying you so he can go plant seeds of doubt into Build's head. Man, that guy's crazy.
Okay, I actually remembered what I was gonna say. Right. You know how like last year we had like the okay, his name is Peridot, except it's not because there's like three different ways of saying it. Like so apparently like Bloodstark's got that thing going on this year. Like have you guys
Fucking
noticed that?
L's and R's.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know, right?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I love how like okay, who it's also sort of the same thing with Peridot. It's like whichever translation you see first, you kind of go with. So like we had one way of saying it, like Japanime had like one way. Oh, this is about X8, one way of saying it, and like Josh had another way. So all three of us were using different things for Peridot. Um, but like this time, I think we're like mostly. It's like okay, his name is Blood. stock, because like that's what Toei wrote, but I'm like Toei does not do English well, alright? So like I can't trust Toei worth shit. And that's my thing. And the thing is Bloodstark sounds way cooler, so I'm sticking with it. And
Bloodstark
like
sounds
Japan made
cooler, and Stalk doesn't make any more sense than Stark does.
yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't know what they're going for here.
I mean maybe based on the weapon, but like eh. Because like Nightrogue has nothing to do with this weapon, so it doesn't make any sense. Whatever. Yeah, let's keep going, I guess.
They find Katsurugi's mother, who teaches poor children who can't afford to go to school, because Hakuto became a rough place to live when Skywall happened. When she sees Banjo, she recognizes him from the news as the man who allegedly murdered her son, so she doesn't talk to them. But then, for some reason, she decides to talk to them anyways. Because the plot can't move forward unless she does, probably. Bloodstark interrupts the conversation when he arrives and shows off a new feature his rifle has. He exposes one of the kids to the nebula gas and turns him into a smash without the need of all the lab equipment back home. Sento henshins into Build to fight the both of them using his ninja form to clone himself. Because ninja techniques. When the smash is defeated, he tosses Banjo the bottle to collect the component. When the kid comes to his senses, he asks if he's going to die, but Banjo assures him that he won't. I really like this scene. It shows that Banjo just has heart to him. Banjo then joins in the... Oh, go
Yeah,
on.
I agree. This is probably like the best scene this episode. Questionably. I mean, it does raise one question. It's like, okay, if they can transform people like on the fly, why are we wasting time with all the expensive lab
I
equipment?
think this is a new feature that he is just now testing out. I think that was the
Okay.
implication. Banjo joins in the fight and steals a rocket bottle from Stark because he was using it to fire his missiles, and tosses it to Build. Build tries it with his new panda bottle and gets a best match. Using his new form, he beats Stark in battle, doesn't actually defeat him though. Before leaving, Stark rewards Build's new skill with information. Katsuragi Takumi didn't just create the smash, he created Faust. Episode end. When Stark says, yeah, Katsuragi created Smash, it's like, well, yeah, we know because he was the one that was experimenting on humans. The fact that Katsuragi created Faust is what got to me. Because we're operating on the idea that, maybe Faust had Katsuragi killed, or at least I was assuming that at the very least Katsuragi was only working for them. The idea that he created them, that's something new, so I'm interested in seeing where that plot device goes.
Yeah, maybe when they shut down his labs, maybe like Gentoku pulled him inside and he's like, alright, maybe we can do this on the down low.
He
It'll
had
be
2
interesting
years.
to see. Yeah. Um, but I'm not really sure if Toei's lucking out, but we've been getting some pretty decent child actors in this series. It's quite nice. Like, I don't think I've seen one that's just like, oh god, get this kid off the screen. They've all been pretty decent, so
Yeah,
good
I
job.
yeah, I think after like Tokuger, I think they probably maybe figured out either like somebody who can actually go out and hire good child actors, or found a damn agency who knows what they're doing when training these actors. So like, yeah, I think after like Tokuger, they've sort of stepped up their game with child actors, which is good. Like the last thing you want is, oh, this is a good episode, and like this kid can't act. Just sort of what fucking Arrow is happening. I mean, like the dialogue was terrible in that first episode for that actor, but still, um, yeah, like it's okay on the Faust thing, right? Maybe they killed this. Okay, so Gent, right? Build can henshin and Ryuga can henshin because they have like the nebula gas inside them. right? Maybe Night Rogue and Bloodstark also have it inside them, which means they would have had to been experimented on. So maybe that's why they killed like the leader of Faust, because they were experimenting and they wanted to like actually get control of Faust, and that's also why Gentoku's freaking like letting Build help him, because like maybe he's like, okay, well technically maybe you probably have like the scientist like intelligence at least somehow, or were created by him or something. Maybe you can figure it out, even though like Gentoku probably killed his ass, and that's why he's letting Build help. Like that's the only reason I can think of what's going on with this setup, because like otherwise it's like, what the fuck is going on with this plot otherwise? Because it's like, all right, you could just do it for a twist, but it's not necessary. Like, if he was just some random scientist, it would have been fine. Like, there's no reason to make him the leader of Faust unless he somehow links back to Build, and like Gentoku and those guys killed him just to gain leadership. Because Nitro seems to be like running the show now, right? What do you guys think?
It definitely seems like Night Rogue is trying to be in charge, and Bloodstark is just being the like, yeah, I do what I want kind of thing. The idea that they could have like killed Katsuragi to take over for him definitely interests me, and it's genius that they would use just find like a scapegoat and then kidnap that scapegoat to experiment on him, because fuck it, they can do whatever they want at this point. Who's gonna stop them?
I know, right? That's so like a oh god, like smart brain level of insanity. Like, who cares? We have so many resources. It doesn't matter. We can do whatever we want.
Decade, what do you think about this?
Uh, yeah, it's pretty. I think the reveal that Gentoku's assistant was involved was more shocking. Yeah, it'll just. I wonder. I mean, at this point, it seems like Gentoku's dad is the only decent one. I mean, the leaders of that other government were pretty damn shady, so we'll see how this plays out.
I wonder if Gentoku's dad is gonna play a role similar to uh the guy from Kabuto. The
Oh, okay. Yeah, like the police chief.
yeah the one whose dad was a police chief. I wonder if, because like he was just kind of in the background the whole time. We occasionally saw glimpses of what he was doing. I wonder if Gentoku's dad is gonna play that kind of role.
Oh, right, Kagami's dad. Yeah, that would be
Kagami, that was
interesting.
his name. How could I forget? How could I forget? After
How
Tsurugi.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, how could you forget? Like, oh
My friend,
my
Kagami!
yeah, basically that. That's great. Anyway, final thoughts. What do you guys think? I guess I'll just go. Yeah, it's actually a really solid episode. Weirdly enough, like I thought this was gonna be like a second part of a two-parter, but no. Like this is the first part. Like it's Bill has interesting pacing. Also, this like a good writer episode. Like it's got everything a Kamen Rider should have. Like, hey, look, we're actually having character or plot progression during a fight. Like, who would have thought, right? Like, it seems like they finally got their shit together. And it took them 7 episodes, but like at least only 7 episodes, so that's not bad. Hope it continues to be solid going forward.
Yeah, I really like this episode, and I actually like the best match. I wasn't really too impressed with it in the commercials, but it's a pretty fun form, and it's like combining fours and O's. It's pretty fun.
Oh, that's exactly what I thought too with the parent and the rocket.
I was
Yeah.
thinking Forze with the rocket half, the pen half. I didn't even think of O's, but it makes sense now. The claw thing.
Yeah. Um,
I mean,
and
O's has a panda form, but yeah.
yes, some hidden knowledge there. But yeah, it was a fun episode, and I'm looking
Doesn't
forward
O's
to next.
also have a kangaroo form?
Yes, yes, he does.
Uh, Overall, I did really enjoy this episode. The humor was the probably the best that this series has gotten to, which isn't saying much, but it shows improvement. And the plot, like with the whole exposition versus just normalcy, was really well done. Much better than the past couple of episodes. Especially when they're like, alright, well, how are we going to get the money to get to Hakuto? And then Sento just looks at everyone in the room in turn as they all talk about how broke they are. Like, that was just real.
Yeah, that was great. You know what? I love how like the reporter's like, "Oh, I have to go to this wedding thing." Like if they fucking tie that in, my god, that's gonna be genius.
The wedding episodes are for Sentai.
I mean, a couple writer shows have had that. Yeah, you're right. They're usually a hentai thing, unless you're like a magic writer, in which case you kind of, or a mystic writer, in which case you kind of had to have one of those.
But, I think we said our fill. I did enjoy the finisher that the Panda rocket form has, where he has the graph and he's just swinging around it with his claw. I thought that was neat.
Yeah, that graph is the graph you need for orbits. So that's actually real math, and it's actually right.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't pay that much attention to it. Well, I guess that's everything we need to say about this episode. Kind of a shorter podcast, but thanks for joining us. Uh, this November 4th and 5th, some friends of mine are going to be hosting a 48-hour charity live stream benefiting the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. There should be some links in the description that you can go to check them out, including their YouTube channel, their charity page where you can donate, and the Twitch page where the live stream will be held. I myself will be attending. I'll be there at some points. So if you can check it out, please do so.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Thanks for joining us, Owen. See you next time.